Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Fortin. I'm the host of this podcast, Doers Within Emerging Markets. And I just want to share my experience with using Anchor so far. When the pandemic started, I thought about starting a podcast. And the whole idea was to bring in some really amazing folks that are doing some great work in their respective industries within the emerging markets. And the Anchor platform really helped me get the word out there and also just make it a lot easier for me to invite the guest and just share the amazing experiences they've had and the amazing work they're doing in their respective industries within the emerging markets. So it's pretty fun. You don't even worry about the technical part of making a podcast. You actually just focus more on the content. And Anchor has done it really well for me. So I will highly encourage anybody who is trying to start a podcast to try to use just check out Anchor, and I think you won't regret it. I'm not a technical person, but if you listen to these episodes that I've been publishing so far, it seems like I know what the technical part of it, but Anchor helps you take care of the technical part, and you just focus on the content. So feel free to check it out. I highly encourage you. Won't regret it, and it's right there. You don't pay anything. So in times like this, I think starting a podcast and getting the word out there, irrespective of what you're doing, will be a really great experience. So thank you guys for listening to my episodes. Please check out Anchor, and you will have a great time. So cheers, guys, and see you guys next episode. Thanks.
Get into it. So hi everyone. So welcome to Doers Within Emerging Markets, Frontier Markets, and I'm here with Jumoke Dada.
Sorry, that's Jumoke.
Jumoke. Oh, thank you. My bad. Jumoke Dada, and she is the CEO of a furniture company called Taeillo, right? It's such an honor for her to be here, and I'm really, humbled.
Taeillo, not Taeillo. So.
I'm so terrible. Sorry, I apologize. But let's get into it. So please, can you just share a little bit about yourself, kind of where you grew up, and I know you're from Nigeria, but if you can just share a little bit about that, I really appreciate it.
I'm an architect by profession, to be honest. Grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, studied at the University of Lagos. Basically, I think that was how I started my journey as a person.
Oh, awesome. And I think beyond just the architecture, I mean, one, you didn't want to get into the business, like you didn't see yourself as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah. So like I said, I didn't start out to want to start a business. I think when I was in uni, I would have been, if someone would have asked me, I would have said I see myself working in an archi firm. But like I said, it's really more about creating impact and getting a lot of people to experience what you've created in your lifetime. And I think, like I said earlier, with architecture, I wouldn't have been able to do that because, for instance, how many buildings will I get to build in my lifetime? I mean, notable buildings. And I thought I could do that with interior design, but for me, it was really about where I worked, and I saw like they were really importing raw materials from Italy. Like it wasn't just, I wasn't happy about it too as well. But where I really had to just have that change of mind was this conference I attended some years ago where we had these American and Japanese designers coming to Nigeria, and they had lots of designers seated, and they had to tell us stuff like, oh, you guys don't create anything in this part of the world, you guys are consumers, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, maybe for other people that were in the conference, that was cool with them, but for me, I didn't quite like that because that was this form of insult, right? And I think from there, that was when I decided to do a bit of traveling to some states in Nigeria to sort of see the sort of resources that they have, how we can harness those things into creating lots of cool pieces. And I think that's basically how I started Taeillo as a company, as a master's student in school. I started creating one or two pieces, and we realized that a lot of people love the pieces, and from one piece we created back then, it's turned to thousands of pieces that we shipped. So pretty much that's the journey.
I really love it. I don't know, but I wish Cameroonians had that same level of of confidence to just say, let's do this, and, really,
But why? Why? I know like they say stuff like Nigerians are too ambitious. But why? Like, it's not like there's courage anywhere. It's just like, I feel for me, and I feel like the way Nigerians are, they don't like people, like, I don't want you to rubbish me. Like, I don't want you to tell me, don't tell me that I'm good for nothing. I think Nigerians are like, don't, so by whatever means possible, they will try to change that narrative. Or don't see me as your Negro, don't see me as that kind of person that's just useless. I'm not that. So for the fact that I stay in Nigeria, for the fact that I stay in Africa, doesn't mean I stay in a jungle and I'm not supposed to live a good life like any other person in any other part of the world. I think that's just, is that stories, that narratives like that Nigerians don't want to hear, and they don't want the world to see them as a second-class citizen. And I think that's just why maybe people like me or like other Nigerians are so supposedly ambitious as other Africans think we are.
Definitely, I love it. I love it. I think we need more of that. So, that's why your story. I think just you as a person, we need people like you to speak up, and from what you're doing, it shows that you're really, I'm definitely sure you're going to inspire a lot of Africans in diaspora as well as Africans on the continent. So I love that. I love that. How did your parents react to this when you want to start? I know most of our parents can be a little bit conservative. They want you to stick to engineer, doctor, lawyer. My parents too are very anti-entrepreneurship. So how was it like to convince them to start this and build this?
Like I said in the interview with Taeillo, right?
Yes.
I just feel like I started on a bad note, because for me, I spent my master's school fees to start the business, so it didn't sit well at the initial stage. But you know what? Guess what? It is what it is now. So yeah.
Exactly. Can you just run through the process? Because I know most of the audience of this podcast are based in the United States. So based on my diagnosis, these are Africans in diaspora trying to go back home to build businesses. How is it like starting a business in Nigeria? Like, what is the in terms of like finding the right co-founder, or trying to find the right people to get you your papers registered and all that in a very clean way and all that. How does it work? And who are the people like from your industry or from your experience that you have to be talking to, so that you're actually more comfortable starting? I know comfortable is not the right word, but perhaps you can actually start something.
For me, right, I don't believe in luck, but I would say I've been quite lucky with my journey in terms of finding. I don't have a co-founder, so I'm a sole founder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say I've been lucky with finding people who believe in what I'm doing. So the good thing is, like, I think there are a whole lot of older people out there that are looking for like younger people to invest in, right? And because the narrative is different, you don't get to see young people in their 20s own like very huge businesses and are really successful in this part of the world. So like if this group of people see people like that, they are always so eager to help. I know, like I see a lot of people reach out to me every day, even today, telling me that they want to help me. What do I need? So for me, right, I think our first investor was our customer, right? So they wanted to furnish a hub by Facebook, right? And after we did the project for them, he called me and he was like, "You are doing this business now, but do you understand how big it can get? And we can help you find money to make it bigger." Wow. And that's the way it has been for me, right? And pretty much it's just been like that, because every single person that's invested in the brand are people who have spoken to about what we are trying to do, how we're trying to change the narrative, how we're trying to get the world to see that even though we have like so much infrastructure deficits in a country like Nigeria, the story around young people is like they are fraudulent, is Yahoo, or it's like some all of these things. There are still like people like me, and there are still like other people out there that can still like really build like solid businesses, and we're not doing anything shady, right?
Yep.
And that way, you know, if the story is true and is genuine, like pretty much everyone is trying to find a young person to invest in. I think that's it for me. I don't know. I don't know about any other person.
No, I think we had this guy Yomi. I think he is not. I was reading his book Recent Return, and he said the same thing in his book Recent Return. I think that he said the same thing you said. He said, no, there's some people in Nigeria that you are just genuine, honest, and you are consistent in your delivery. They'll back you up. So you're exactly right. I think it seems like that's how you have to get around that.
I had a call from someone in diaspora today, and she was just like, it's just crazy because she doesn't like really know me. I've never met her, and like she's like willing to entrust a whole lot into my hands. It's just but the truth is that there are really people out there looking for people. Like there are people out there, like the older generation, they are looking for people, not necessarily their children, but like they're looking for young Black people that they can just like trust the resources of this country into their hands. But the issue is like maybe they feel like it's hard to find people like that. But with people like me coming out, with people like other people to showing what is possible, I think the story might change.
For sure. I mean, I think on face value, you look like you seem very trustworthy. I don't know. You just have that.
I seem very trustworthy. People say that, like, and I sometimes like, really, but maybe, yeah. Maybe because the fact that having to like turn other people's money into a very successful business, yeah. So maybe that's why, yeah.
No, definitely. How was this pandemic? I know maybe because COVID. I think COVID-19. I know in the US we really had a difficult time in 2020, and Nigeria and other African countries, they had different ways of managing it, the way lockdowns and all that. And I think you guys are open, right? Everything open in Nigeria now, right?
Yeah, maybe 70% open. Yeah.
How did you navigate the pandemic in 2020 and this year?
I think 2020 was a good year for me, to be honest.
Wow.
It was also a good year for us as a brand. Because I think for me, I just feel like God allowed COVID to happen so that we can really see what we should be doing as a company, right? Before COVID, we were a B2B brand majorly. So our main clients were businesses. Yeah. But when COVID happened, a lot of businesses were shut down. We couldn't like serve them. Most of our projects were put on a halt. Yep. It was then we realized that there are a whole lot of people at home and there's really nobody servicing those guys. And there are a lot of people at home working from their beds. They don't know how to get furniture. And that's how we sort of delved into like the B2C bit. And, I think in the first 6 months of COVID, we shipped over 1,000 pieces of furniture.
Wow.
So there are quite a lot of customers at that time. So
yeah, I know I've gotten a chance to look at your website and read some of the blogs that have been written about you, and the designs are so beautiful. I think if we can even ship these things to the United States, I think that would be great. They're really, really nice, and more compliments are coming the way. But it's just great design for what you're building over there. Just just the furniture itself, but I think the aesthetics of it is just amazing. So I can see the hard work on and just the vision of what you're building on the beauty of your furniture. So amazing work.
yeah.
In terms of human capital development, I know most, I listen to a lot of entrepreneurs down, Kenya, Rwanda, Nigeria, South Africa, and they always say one of the challenges is to actually get the best people, to hire people that are competent, they stay in the business, they can grow the business. How has that been for you? Do you do your own training? Do you have like a training center at the company where people come in like 6 months, 3 months? or how do you find really good people on the ground to work for you?
I think anyone like running a business, before I used to think it was peculiar to Nigeria, but I've spoken to like a lot of founders from different parts of the world, even in the US, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's the same problem generally when you are running a business. Like it's just hard to find people you can trust.
True.
I think every entrepreneur will have their own fair share of betrayal to incompetent employees, to people who would at interview stage speak so well, sound so nice, and they can't deliver when you get on the job. Yeah, but for me, you always like try to find a way around it. But one of my own hiring philosophy is I would rather hire one person that is so smart that can do the work of 4 people so well than hire a bunch of mediocre, pay them, so hire like that one person and pay the person so well, and then hire like a bunch of 10 people and I'm not paying the person well, they're average. Because it comes from me personally, and this is the way I approach work. For me, I can do I have a whole lot of skill sets that can allow me navigate and transition into different roles. And I think like that, like now for people who rather want to like employ people, I think they should rather focus on quality than quantity. It might be hard to find, but if you like rather invest in finding like one really very good person, it might save you a whole lot of headache than trying to like have like a whole bunch of people who are average and things.
Makes sense.
So for us, right, we had our own fair share of back and forth with people. But the thing is, as you begin to get more people on board, as you begin to see, understand, and I don't even think there's a school or there's a place where they get to tell founders how to detect fake people or how to detect people that won't deliver. So it's just something that comes with experience. You get to learn as you're on the job. But the truth is, the more you get to interact with people, the more you'll be able to like discern what is good for your business in particular or not.
For sure. Now going into you have been running this business now for a while, and you have gone through a pandemic, and the business is thriving. So, in terms of mentorship, like who are the people that you have, or the people that have gotten to know as a result of starting this business that you say, this was a smart idea. This was the right thing to get this person on, maybe as a board in your company or as a close friend that can give you some really good business as well as personal advice. Do you have any of those kind of people, and how do you pick them?
Like you're asking if I have mentors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for me, right, I have a coach, right? I have a coach. I have mentors, right?
Yes.
But how do I pick mentors? I don't know.
You just can't. You just feel it.
They just come. You just have like really cool people really cool people who have done amazing stuff that just believe in you. And in turn, you just like, I don't think I've ever like written to someone to say, let me be your mentee. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it's just like I would say, maybe I was just lucky to find like really cool people who have really built strong businesses and built good stuff, reach out to me. And from there, like we became so close, and they were able to like mentor me through running a business. But yeah, basically, I think that's me for me. Yeah.
No, I one thing that I really and something that I've been seeing recently is that we have young people like you that in the future can be really good mentors and coaches for young entrepreneurs, Africa, even beyond Africa, Asia, and here in the United States, right? And hopefully things like this podcast and stuff like this can really if people are not directly connected to you, they can learn from you, and that's something I'm really, really excited about. And I'm looking forward to someone like you being a very good coach for young people in the future. One thing that maybe it's not when I left Cameroon, we didn't talk a lot about mental health and just like taking care of your health, and and but you know, as an entrepreneur, there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot of moving pieces. How do you manage just like your mindset, your mental health, and you know, making sure that you balance yourself, right? You don't overstress. You know, you make sure that your head is clear. Do you have any activities that you do that really helps you, you know, make sure that everything is in balance?
Yeah. I think like this year is the first time I'm having a leave since I started this business. And that was last week. I've never had a leave. Like I was always going to work
Crazy.
Mondays to Sundays. Yeah. So for me, it's kind of, I used to do that back in the days when I didn't really care. And I just wanted to do the work, whether I was happy or not. But now it's something I've come to realize that I think your mental health is really important. And it's kind of crazy for someone like me because I'm a creative and trying to run a business. There are two different things entirely. And for me, one of the things I really enjoy so much is being alone.
Yeah.
I enjoy being alone a lot. And I think it's something I try to do a whole lot of time. So for instance, last week, I wanted to just be alone for a long time because like just stay away from work and don't know what's going on there. Yeah, but for me, I think that's like the way I recharge. Just try to be alone and try to recharge. Yeah. So I don't really have any activity that I do. So.
That's great. I mean, just that the space, like you just kind of, you know, everything tones down and you just like, just be yourself, be by yourself. I think that pays off big time. I think we try to do that as well. No, thanks for sharing. I think there's a lot going on, especially with the pandemic and all that. People are trying to find ways to kind of have a good mindset, and running a business too can be really challenging. So thanks so much for sharing that. Just a few more questions so that, you know, I know you're a very busy entrepreneur, to let you go. How has the local government been in terms of just, have they been supportive? Do you have grants? Do you have things that the government has really been there to say, okay, this is a young, smart entrepreneur and they're willing to, you know, support you? How has that interaction been with the local or maybe the federal government of Nigeria?
I think any successful young person that you see in Nigeria didn't get any support from the government. And that's just me being real, right? Like I don't know, but it's just anything that has to do with government in Nigeria is just a no-go area. And funny enough, like most of the support that you get is even from like the private sector. So anything government for a young person in Nigeria trying to run a business, I don't know.
Let's leave it at that. So I know right now we're getting this like the end of the first quarter of 2021. What is how do you see your company maybe in the next 5-10 years, and what do you hope to achieve with your amazing company?
Right, it's huge because we're trying to do something really huge and massive for a system where the infrastructure doesn't exist, right? Yeah, but I know part of the things we're doing this year is to start selling in Ghana.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So for us, it's really about we expanding to other African countries, because the problem is similar. The problem in Nigeria is similar to the problem in Ghana, or I've been to Rwanda. You know, it's still the same thing. We don't produce in this part of the world, you know. So when people have to buy furniture, they have to go through a local carpenter. Like, you know, it's just as against you having to just go online. You know, you guys in the US can probably buy from Wayfair or buy from IKEA or buy from, and you're just in your house and they press the bell and they're in front of your house.
Yeah.
People in part of the world don't have that luxury, you know.
Yes.
So and it's that luxury we want to create for them. So.
For sure. Why Cameroon is not on the list?
I really don't know so much about the market, so I don't, yeah.
Fair enough.
I heard you guys have like very good wood.
Yeah.
Abundance of wood. So.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, it's such a pleasure to have you here. What is your no most if people want to go back, if people want to start a business? I know maybe you have answered this question so many times, but what is the one thing, not from you as a person, that you tell someone to consider, to think about, to really reflect on before they want to start something or go back to Africa to start something? Or a young lady in Unilag wants to start something. What is the one thing, or maybe two, that you tell them to say, this is something they have to really think about, this is something you have to really consider to start that company?
Well, for me, I really think for anyone, it's really about like doing what you want to do and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You are trying to do something great, and you have that feeling that it's going to be great. You just hear a lot of people tell you, give you a 1,001 reasons why you shouldn't do it.
Perfect.
But you just have to stay true to your vision.
Yep.
That's it.
For sure. No, thank you so much. This was such a pleasure. I know we had some technical issues, but we figured that out. And I do hope that you had a great time, and I do, and I know for sure people will be inspired from this 30 minutes conversation we had. Are you looking for, are there internship opportunities? Anything you want to announce that or love that I can share on your podcast, or you're just building?
Yeah, I know we do take interns every quarter, right?
Yeah.
Every quarter, yeah.
Okay.
So I think another one will be open around end of April. People should probably look out across all social media platforms to see.
Okay. And do you for your furnitures, so you sell them just in Nigeria now? People in the US can buy it, but you guys are just expanding to Ghana. That's just the first market out of Nigeria, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, although we do have like lots of inquiries from places like the US and the UK, but the issue is logistics, right? Moving it out. Sometimes like you get to ship like $100 products, but like the cost of shipping is like $500. How do you out?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd love to buy it. I don't know, but but I know with time you'll definitely have this internationally. So I have a lot of.
So we'll come to US in some years' time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're working on a model that will allow us like be in places like the US.
Yep.
Soon. But pretty much we're still a young brand, so we'll figure it out and get to you guys soon. So.
For sure. No, you have. I think from my perspective of you have the right ingredients for a very successful leader, and you really inspired me based on the YouTube video I watched and all the stories I read, and I know that you really make a difference on the African continent and beyond. So thank you so much for being here, and we need you. Please, so stay safe. Be well, and continue to inspire through your hard work and just your great vision. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it's fine. I hope to see you soon in Nigeria. Maybe any day you decide to come around.
I will come. I'll just show up in your office. You'll be afraid.
Yeah. We're happy to see you.
No, thank you so much. And to our listeners, just great to have her. So I will I'll try to, I'll just put the link of your website and LinkedIn so that people can probably see you more. But thank you so much.
That's fine. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.